everybody, Dr. Rocky here. We're going to start our interview in a second with Miss Tesla Hines. She's a student and I'm excited to have her on here today. I'm going to turn my computer off really quick. Give me 1 second as we wait for her. This lighting is really bright and I can't see. I'm going to have to switch it. There you go. That's way better. I couldn't see on the last one. But anyway, I'm just waiting on her to join in. Hello. Welcome. We're going to have a great talk with a student in a second. Hey, Ray. And we're just waiting on her to come online so we can get started. I know she's ready because she messaged me earlier, a second ago, saying she's ready to get on. So I'm just waiting. But anyways, anything anybody want to talk about while we wait? It's a great day to be a chiropractor, always is. It's a great day to be a chiropractic student. Unless there's a test, then it's not a great day. That's just sounds terrible. But just waiting on Miss Tesla to enter in here. And any tips or tricks? I guess while I'm waiting, I can do a stretch. Oh wait, nope, she's here. Let's see. Let's get her signed on. Invite. Boom. You should be getting a request in a second, and we'll be all ready. Hey, how are you?
Hi. Good afternoon.
You see me? I can't tell.
Yeah, I can see you. Can you see me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Cutting off my head, or can you see my whole head?
I can see your whole head. You, I'm sorry, talk.
I said, can you still see my whole head?
Something happened with your sound just then.
Uh-oh. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
I don't know what happened. I'm not sure because I didn't change nothing.
How's
How's everything going?
Can you hear me and see me?
You said what?
Can you hear me and see me on your end?
Yes, I sure can.
Okay, awesome.
So how's everything going? How's the student life?
You know, student life is busy. Student clinic is busy. But, you know, you keep going, you keep showing up, you keep trusting the process.
Right. And it's a long process.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And
So I guess before we get too deep into it, introduce yourself.
So my name is Telesa Hart. I am in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm a DC student at Life University in Marietta, Georgia, which is one of the suburbs of the perimeter of Atlanta. I am originally a Georgia Peach, but I'm a military brat, so I grew up in Germany, actually. I did. I grew up in Germany. I graduated high school in Oklahoma, and then I graduated from college from the Langston University. I am an HBCU grad. And I'm also a member of Alpha Delta Upsilon Chiropractic Sorority at Langston University. Woo woo! Shout out to my sorority sisters.
That is so awesome. That is so good to hear. My grandfather actually used to live in Marietta. I did not know Life College was in Marietta.
So it's Life University. Life College and Life University are two different entities. Life University is in Georgia, but there's also Life College West in California.
Oh, okay. See, I'm learning something new right now. You have a lot of people that are saying hi to you on here.
I'm so humbled and amazed at the love. I appreciate all of you all for joining in for the interview, and I really hope I do you guys proud.
So I saw something. You're 39.
I'm not. When I started school, I was 39.
Oh, when you started school, you were 39. So how old are you now?
I'll be 42 on Sunday. Team Pisces. Woo
Oh, happy birthday. That's exciting.
Thank you.
You said on Sunday, so you're a leap thing.
I'm not. I'm actually February the 28th. Like I made the cut. So February the 20th.
Oh yeah, it's 29th. That's it.
Yeah, 29th are your.
That's why I'm a chiropractor, and I don't study dates and stuff like that because I'll be messing up. But anyway. Hey, Miss Tia, miss you, girl. But so let's talk about being a non-traditional student. I think that that's really cool. Most people think that when you start school, you have to start when you're young, and you have to, go right after undergrad. But your journey, your road to becoming a chiropractic student is different from everybody else's. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
So here's the thing. I have consistently referred to myself as a non-traditional student, but in today's day and age, like, is there a such thing as a traditional student? I mean, because because there was a point in time where a traditional student had a trust fund. That's never been the case in the African American community. A lot of us had part-time jobs through school, so that wasn't traditional. There was a case where you went to college and you didn't have kids. Well, nowadays a lot of people have children in college. A lot of people get married in college. So I don't even necessarily view myself as a non-traditional student, but what I will say for the people who feel like their time has passed, one of my favorite people who stands as a testament to this, whether you like her or not, is Tamar Braxton, because she has always wanted to be a singer, but she was not acknowledged and rewarded as a singer until she was 36 years old, was when she got her first award, when she had her first #1 hit. So I don't believe that there is a time frame to do things. What you do in your journey is your personal timing, and it's perfect timing for you. There's a why you don't make well, I mean, it's universal. Like, there's a reason why you don't make a certain amount of money before a certain time. You understand what I'm saying? You can't make $1 million until you are prepared to budget $1 million.
Yeah.
You can't be a manager until you have management experience.
Right.
So my timing is perfect. So when I become a chiropractor will be when it's time for me to be a doctor. And so I have shown up at the time that the universe said was a good time for me.
That is so awesome. I love that. I was a non-traditional student as well. I don't know if we talked about it the last time you were asked questions. So I totally understand. I was a mother of two. I was a biologist when I started. Like, so I get it. And I think you're right, because your life before you get to chiropractic school kind of prepares you for chiropractic school.
Right. If had I come before now, I would have quit. Period. Had I come before, I wouldn't have had the drive that I have now to keep going and trust the process. I dropped out of undergrad when I originally went to, and I did originally go to Langston University. I dropped out. I went back 10 years later at 31 years old on campus. Okay. But my children had the opportunity to come to their formative years on a college campus, on an HBCU campus. What we did for fun was go to step shows and go to homecoming and go to events. So they have been exposed to life in academia. So I'm appreciative that my journey has unfolded how it has. And under no circumstances do I feel old. I actually feel fabulous.
I mean, you look fabulous.
Well,
most people are so much younger. I graduated with people that were like 19, 20 years old.
Right.
Y'all young.
Right.
To be calling you doctor. Like, it just was crazy. But I mean, that was their journey. That was their path. And I like how you're talking about how everybody's path is different for a reason. And how you decide, you're happy you decided when you decided to go to chiropractic school, because you might have quit if it was even any earlier.
Exactly. I know I would have.
It's hard. Chiropractic school is not for the faint of heart. I'm not trying to discourage anybody that's a student right now, or anybody who's considering it. It's not for the faint of heart. It takes a lot of vigor. It takes a lot of studying. It takes a lot of it takes a lot out of you. But it's way, way, way worth it.
Indeed. I strongly believe that anything worth having is worth working for. You know, nothing that you truly desire. I say it doesn't come easy because I don't believe that we are meant to struggle and suffer. I do believe that we are meant to live our best lives and embrace these delicious, amazing, juicy moments in life. So I don't believe we're meant to suffer and struggle, but I do believe that anything worth having is worth working for. But we take the word work out of context because my daddy always told me when you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. So
that is so true. That is a true testament of just your character. And that is so awesome. So I have a question that I don't know if you realize, but every school does not go through quarters.
right, trimesters and quarters.
Yeah. So you said you're a quarter 9 student.
Yes, I am.
So what is that? How does that translate? How much longer do you have in your schooling? How many quarters are till the end?
We're not on quarters. At Life University, we're on quarters. The chiropractic program is a 14 quarter program, and it's literally 4 quarters in the year. So our winter quarter is what we are currently in, which will end at the end of March. Our spring break will be the first week of April. And then, so April, May, June will be the spring quarter. We'll have a little bit of a summer break. Then July, August, September, and then October, November, and December for the fall.
So you're a quarter 9, you're a 14. So you got quite a bit of time left.
I do. So our quarters are 10-week quarters of learning, and then the 11th week is our finals week, and then the 12th week is what we call week 0, and that's when we have a break.
Interesting, because I went to Logan and we did trimesters.
Okay.
So I was like, well, we only did 10 trimesters, right? So you said you were quarter 9. I was like, but I don't think that would equate to the 10 trimesters. That's just simple math, right? Cooking math.
To put it in correlation for the people that are in trimesters, I am currently in my 2nd quarter in student clinic. In April, I will go to outpatient clinic where I can service the community. But one of the differences that I have heard from students on trimesters versus those of us that are on quarters is, and I don't know how true this is I've never done trimesters, but if we fail a class, we still progress in the program and just pick up the class that we failed, as opposed to you feeling like you are completely paused for a full trimester because of how the trimesters are set up. So as long as all of my other classes do not require a class that I may have not done well in as a prerequisite, I am still advancing in my program. So by time wise, I have been at Life University for 11 quarters. Some quarters I modified and things because I have a life outside of school, but I am technically classified as a 9th quarter student because of where I am in the clinic system. And we do 2 quarters in student clinic, we do 3 quarters in outpatient clinic, and then we go out and peak. I don't know if you guys call it peaking, but it's the same as interning in an office where you're actually working and adjusting and getting that experience.
So everybody's required to do go to an internship.
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting. That's
yes.
Interesting. So when I graduated, I don't know if it's the same. I look up and the school's changing every 2 seconds. It was student clinic for 1 trimester, and then outpatient clinic for 3 trimesters. And then on the 3rd trimester, you can decide if hey, Steve Brown, I'm glad you're here for the first time. You can decide if you want to do an internship halfway through, or you can just continue on with the outpatient clinic. It just depends on if you've made your numbers or not. But I think they changed the numbering and it's something else. But I don't know. I guess we're going to have a student from Logan here so they can tell us the update of what's going on for their clinic. But that's really cool. How are you liking clinic so far?
You know, clinic for me, when we first started, especially coming into clinic during the pandemic, I will say that was a test of my faith. You know, I'm almost emotional thinking about it. But when I came into clinic, I didn't feel like I was enough. I didn't feel like my adjustments were enough. I didn't feel like my notes were enough. I didn't feel good enough. And it was because I hadn't touched anybody in like a year, because of the pandemic. And so I challenged myself to go out and seek the knowledge that I needed, that I wasn't able to gain in school. I paid out of pocket to go to many adjustment seminars. I've flown across the country with my table. I have given up my weekends to practice and train. And now in my second quarter in student clinic, I am going in there and I'm feeling so empowered. I feel empowered with the notes that I'm putting in the system. I feel empowered with the listings that I'm finding on my patients. And I'm absolutely feeling like I am empowered and empowering them when I touch them and do these adjustments. So it was definitely something that was a rough road, but I'll be doggone if I'm not really grateful that I went through it, because sometimes you need to feel like you're not enough in order to do what you need to do to discover that you are. And had I not had those feelings, I wouldn't have spent my money going to those seminars. I wouldn't have given up my weekends to go to those seminars. And I've gained an amazing skill set, and I just feel so comfortable and confident. And the other thing that I'm grateful for is I now have a very clear direction for who I want to be as a doctor and who I want to serve as a doctor and the demographic that I want to be a blessing to. So I'm so grateful for it. So was it rough? Hell yes. Yes, it was. It was painful. I fought the air in the bathroom so many times. So many times. So many times. I cried so many tears when I'm like, ugh, I can't get it. I can't get it. And one of the clinic docs comes up, there it is. You know what I mean? And I just felt so inadequate. But I needed to go through that. Like, I needed to have those lows in order to be on the high that I'm on right now.
I think I remember hearing like upper tri students, they would say, "Oh, you just got to get on as many people as you can, as many people as you can." It doesn't really click until you go into student clinic when you're like, "Ooh, maybe I should have been, really getting into the people." But when I was a student, I did do clubs and all that to kind of get some of that experience that you don't really get until you're in clinic. And I think it's great that you went to seminars, because that is something that everybody should start doing. Like, everybody listening, if you're a student, you should start going to seminars. Don't think that you are too early in the program.
I agree. Do it, do it, do it. I know it's expensive, but it is an investment in you. So if you look at the price of a seminar and you say that's too much, I'm not spending that, that's the same as you saying I don't deserve that.
Right.
You might.
It's going to be so important to enhance your education and also just to make you a better adjuster, because at the end of the day, you can get as many patients, you can have tons of patients coming into your clinic, but if you can't help them with what they came into your clinic for, what's the point?
But even speaking to a different point, some people are not driven by what's going to help other people. Some people are more driven by what's going to help them. So if I could tell you anything, I would tell you that going to these seminars is therapeutic, is healing. Like, it's more than just you learning, okay, touch C2, grab this and touch this and do. It's more than that. And so I'm going to say this, if you love yourself and you have a vision for who and what you are going to be as a doctor, I would tell any student, invest in yourself. Those of you who are already doctors, after I graduate, I will continue to go back to these seminars and invest in myself, because iron sharpens iron. You understand? And I'm Karate Kid, and I'm constantly chasing Mr. Miyagi. And I'm going to constantly go to these seminars so that I can learn to wax on. I know, but Karate Kid, wax on, wax off. Like, right. It's the same principle.
Well, I mean, for one, when you're a doctor, you have to go, because that's part of your licensing process. But choosing the right ones and choosing ones that are going to fit you and for what you want to do in your practice, that is going to be key. And let me just tell you, like, for any student out there, especially if you are at Life University, this is Big Sis right here. Like, for real, for real. She is dropping some knowledge. She's dropping some wisdom. She is like, I would just, if I was a student, I would want to be around you and just get that atmosphere of encouragement and to know that you can do it, and just to get some advice on what to do when you're feeling down, because like that's it right there. Like that is awesome.
I appreciate that.
No problem. And I saw, thank you everybody who told her where she was at. She's at Life University. I wasn't able to answer that, but yeah, she probably wanted to know because she wanted to get in contact with you so she can get some information. Like,
Definitely hit me up. I'd also like to say to those of you who are students that are watching, don't be closed-minded when you choose your seminars. As a result of me stepping out on faith and going to seminars that are teaching techniques I've never even heard of before, it has opened my mind to a wealth of knowledge that I have now been able to brand my own personal style. So if you are somebody who, I'm Gunstead, or Thompson, I would encourage you to go to a BGI seminar, and I would encourage you to go to a tonal, like I would encourage you to experience something different from what, because a lot of times you think you know, but you don't know until you try something.
You don't know. Yeah.
You eat it.
No, it is really important. I remember when I was a student, I took as many different classes, electives that I could take, because I wanted to experience all those different techniques so I can grab what I liked. And if I liked it, I kept going with it and went to later on. Like you do have to, I think that's great about you. You have to do it. Even for doctors right now, you have to go to these seminars to grab different things and see what you like the ICPA seminars. If you want to do that, I'm an ICPA doc. I went to those seminars as a student. For one, it was way cheaper. And then, but two, it just gave me so much knowledge and gave me some encouragement, because I did have kids when I was a student. So I wanted to make sure when I got my kids adjusted, I'm adjusting them properly and I'm doing what I need to do. So just seminars really, really do help. And you don't have to be stuck in a bubble or a box. You can branch out and do whatever you need to do.
Yes, for sure. I absolutely agree.
Yes. So Miss Sweet, what is your mixing techniques? I'm just curious. You can just type it at the bottom. And then also, so
I'm a technique.
What kind of techniques do you like? What are your go-tos right now?
So right now, obviously for us in clinic, full spine is what we do. But outside of that, I absolutely love tonal work. So tonal is a little bit less force, because it's more energy centered, to put it plainly. And it is about tapping into these energetic centers and this bioenergetic type of thing. And I really enjoy that because it's something that I feel very close to. I'm a Reiki master. I was a Reiki master before I decided to become a chiropractor. So energy centers were something that was already really heavy in my life and what I do professionally. And so when I discovered BGI, and when I discovered network spinal, it really spoke to me. Now, and what I also love about network spinal is their neurological indicators. So even though I do full spine in clinic, I do use the network spinal neurological indicators that I've learned, so that when I check my patients, I know where I'm going and I know that I delivered an effective adjustment by using those techniques.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really awesome. There's another thing I wanted to ask you, but I can't remember. I can't even remember what I was going to. Oh, that's another. Okay, so when you get out of practice, out of school, what avenue are you going to take? Do you plan to go to, or 1 second, she said full spine, activator, Thompson, SOT, and soft tissue work. That's awesome. I think that's a lot. That's a lot of what I practice too, full spine with the, I don't do activator as much anymore, but I do Thompson, I do SOT. For anybody out there who's watching, if you have not learned SOT, I would highly suggest learning it. You don't have to do the whole blocking and all that. I mean, if you want to, that's great. But jaw work, so many patients out there that need jaw work. Headaches, SOT is amazing for headaches, jaw work. It's amazing for babies who are having issues with their cranium and all that. SOT is just amazing. I just want to let you guys know. That's my little thing. But anyways, what path are you going to take? There's essentially there's like what, three paths. You can go associate, you can go IC, or you can go open your own practice. Like, which road are you leaning towards right now?
I am so glad you asked me that. So the direction that I am headed is not actually your traditional direction. Where I want to go with this is everybody out there is going to laugh so hard, but I am so serious. So I'm going to go ahead and put this out into the universe. As you know from my bio, I am a poet. I'm a motivational speaker. I have traveled the world speaking. Talking is what I do. Now I'm in chiropractic. So I'd like to talk the tick professionally. And the way that I'd like to do that, being that I live in Atlanta, is ultimately, y'all tag Bravo in this, is to be cast on Married to Medicine, because there currently has been no chiropractic representation on the show Married to Medicine. I'm also in a same gender loving marriage. There has been no same-sex marriage on Married to Medicine. So I am that, you understand? And that is ultimately my goal, is to have the opportunity to have a larger national platform to talk the tick. So while I do want to adjust as well, I don't necessarily foresee myself adjusting full time 40 hours a week. As it relates to chiropractic, what I want to be is an OBGYN chiropractic. So I specifically want to serve women. I specifically want to serve women of color. I specifically want to serve women in underserved communities who are not aware that there is natural medicine available to them to help with their pregnancies, to help turn these breech babies, to help with fertility issues, to help with polycystic ovarian syndrome, to help with heavy, painful, irregular periods. So the direction that I want to go is all women, all the time, all day long, women of color. That's where I'm going.
I love it. So are you ICPA? Did you do it?
I said kids. You didn't hear me say kids. I said women. Once you have the baby, I'm going to send them to you. I don't know.
No. They have the ICPA has a program. It's actually the first class that they recommend you taking, which is prenatal.
I'll do that part, but the babies and the kids, I'm gonna let you have that. I used to be a kindergarten teacher. My kids are older now. I'm good on that part.
No. Yeah, they have a program. It's called Webster Technique. Have you heard Webster Technique?
Yes, I will. I plan to be a Webster expert at some point.
Yeah, so that's the Webster certification. You get it through the ICPA.
Through ICPA, okay.
Yeah, so all the people who are out there, if you want to become Webster Technique certified, you get it through ICPA. You just sign up, and as a student, it's like way cheaper to do it. And then once you graduate, they just they have you take a test or something. I don't know, because when I was a student, I was still a student when I was taught by Jenny Ohm, but also at my school they had it.
Okay.
Oh, they're doing a new prenatal certification? Oh, well, maybe you should do it before they change what they're doing right now. Because this one is just like a one class and you're already prenatal certified.
Look that up.
The new certification, they might be trying to add a whole bunch of stuff. Thank you, Dr. Patty.
Yeah.
But I was taught under Jenny Ohm, and also my teacher at school, because I went to Logan. So the Webster Technique is based off of Logan Basic. So in Logan Basic, we learn a lot of it. We learn everything. And then, but just to have that certification, I went and got it.
That's absolutely the direction I see myself headed.
Yeah. And it's great. It is so awesome to have moms who come in and they're like, okay, I'm 3 weeks out. Baby's not turning. Doctor wants to do a C-section. Help. I need this baby to flip. Like, it's awesome to work with them and to get that baby to flip in such a short amount of time. And get them feeling good, because they were like, oh, I wish I would have came in a lot sooner. But then you get also moms who start, as soon as they get pregnant, they start seeing you. But it is awesome.
Well, outside of that, I also want to service the obstetrics and gynecological community, because I want to service women in the LGBT community. And what I find is that there are women who are trans women, male to female, who do not have a safe space to go, that will identify them as how they identify. But there are also trans men who are female to male transitions, who still have female anatomy, who identify identify as men. However, guess what that female anatomy can do? It can become dis-ease.
Right.
It can become dis-ease. They can have irregular periods. They can have ovarian cancer. And oftentimes our trans community doesn't have a safe space to go. And I would love to provide that for them as well.
That is so awesome. I want you to continue on your journey. I mean, continue to keep us posted on your journey. And also, there's a doctor, a mentor of mine. Her name is Dr. Iram Tahir. She specializes in helping clinicians run a prenatal practice.
Okay. Can you say that name for everybody again?
Dr. Iram Tahir. Let me put it, maybe, hopefully I can just get her on here. Oh, does this, if I put at, does it all only do the people who are online right now?
Girl, I don't know.
Me neither. Oh, here she is. There we go. There she is right there. I just posted her right there. So you guys all know, go follow her. She has a whole program. They're amazing. She actually, her and her husband are the reason why I started my practice, and they helped me start my practice from the ground up. Literally, there was no ground when I met them. My shovel hadn't even broken the dirt. Like, that's how fresh it was when I started speaking with them. And she has a whole program. She specializes in helping chiropractors get a practice that specializes and focuses on prenatal.
Nice.
So, I mean, I would reach out to her. She loves helping other women. She is a woman of color. She will help you. She's great. She's nice. She's sweetest thing ever. Hopefully she'll look at this and see that I'm giving her some shout outs. And she has a Facebook group and I don't think she has an Instagram like for the Facebook group that's a prenatal. I can't remember exactly what the Facebook group is. If you guys are interested in knowing what that Facebook group is, just email me at the chirowoc@gmail, and I'll be able to get that information to you guys as soon as I look it up. I just don't know it off the top of my head right now. So I love the direction that you're going with your practice. I think we all needed to hear that, because I'm gonna be honest, I never thought about that stuff. I never thought about the trans community and how their needs are a little bit more, I don't know, they're the same, but they're not.
Right, exactly. So imagine, being someone who is fully detached from your womb, right? But that womb betrays you.
Mm-hmm.
And it becomes diseased.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a safe space to go because you don't even identify with this womb.
Right.
Yeah. And
yeah.
I need to create that safe space for those.
Yes.
And
I feel like I'm just throwing stuff out here, but I feel like you need to come in contact with some good doulas in the area, wherever you want to work at. And even as a student right now, you need to be working with some doulas.
Live with us right now. So yes, definitely.
You said what?
I got some wonderful doula sisters on this live right now.
Oh, do you? Awesome. I was gonna say doulas, midwives. You need to find some a couple OBGYNs in your area that are like-minded or even like close to like. You might be able to find medical students who are kind of like-minded to you and get in contact with them right now, so you guys can start this and create a movement that just has not started yet. Someone said me. Dr. Patty said me.
Yes. Patience is an amazing doula here at Life University as well. And she's connected to so many other doulas. At one point, I did think I wanted to go in the direction of being a doula. But again, I think that I'm going to stay in my lane.
Right.
Leave that to them.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like absolutely the plan, to be connected with doulas, to be connected with OBGYNs, and also to be connected with fertility clinics, because there are lesbian couples, friends of mine, who have had babies via IVF, IUI, and procedures like that, and have needed support during that time and didn't have it, have needed support when those embryos didn't attach, or have needed support when all of them attached and they weren't expecting to have multiple babies and things like that. So yeah, absolutely a complete network of women servicing women. And like I said, particularly the women who don't know that these services are available to them. You wouldn't believe how many Black women that think having a doula is a rich people's privilege. They don't know that that service is available to them, or that even, you know, natural healing is available. Just because it's not covered by insurance doesn't mean we can't make this happen.
Right, right. No, you know, that's kind of a barrier that we have to break, and we have to get in there, because there's a lot of patients who come in, they're like, well, you're not covered by my insurance. And I'm like, just because I'm not covered by your insurance doesn't mean I'm not that as good. And the people who are covered by your insurance doesn't mean that they're any better.
Right.
You just really, you have to go to the person who's going to give you the best care, the person who has your back, the person who, you know, when you come, they're genuine, and not the person who's just in there for money. But it's really hard to tell some of these people, like, it's okay. Like, it's okay that we're not covered by your insurance, but I guarantee you, when you walk through that door, you're going to feel like you're one of the family, and you're going to feel like we're doing the best we can to get you out of this pain and to keep you out of this pain.
I think that one of the things that we can do to continue to combat that is, for me personally, to continue to put forth the effort to bridge the gap between chiropractic and allopathic medicine.
Yes.
Because of the fact that your older generations, and particularly in the Black community, have all the trust in their allopathic physicians. If they're the ones saying you need to go and see a chiropractor, well, then that's making cash. So I don't have a desire to compete with allopathic medicine. I respect it. I utilize it. I have an MD in my life. I have MDs that I love in my life that are very close friends. So that would absolutely be something that, you know, I want to continue to pioneer, like really bridging that gap. Like, we don't hate, you know, we don't hate MD.
Right.
Like, that's not what this is. We're not in a competition. Let's work together, because when it's all said and done, we all are charged with the same responsibility, and that's to first do no harm.
Right. No, that is so true. I like how you said that, because definitely integrative medicine, I believe, is key. That's what it has to happen. We have to have that. And I think it's funny, in the African American community, I can't really speak for some of the other professions of color, or people of color, but we trust everything that the doctor says, but we don't trust the doctor. That makes sense. Like, a lot of them wait until the very last minute before they go see the doctor.
Yes.
But once they get to the doctor, if the doctor says something, they're gonna listen to everything that doctor says. It's like, we need to fix that aspect too. You can't wait until the last minute. You can't wait until you're almost dead to go see your doctor. You have to go a lot sooner. And if the bridge was if the gap was closed a little bit more, we get these patients before they get so far gone to where they're barely able to walk, barely able to move, barely able to hold food down. Like, we get them so much more than that.
Right.
This is so great. I don't have much time left. I have like just a couple minutes left, because I picked my son up from school. And it's like one of those things, if you don't get in line early, you're never going to get your child. So do you have one last thing to tell people? Like, I'm so glad, like, you don't even know, I'm so glad that we decided to have you as our first student of the month. Like, you just set the bar, like, way up here. You can't even see my hand, like, way up here for what we are looking for, what we want in a conversation with the students. Like, where you come from. We know, after listening to this, everyone on this thing knows where you're coming from when you decide to start to become a chiropractic school, where you're going to go. Like, that is just amazing. Most people don't know half of that.
So the last thing that I would like to say to everyone, to every doctor that's listening, I know we talked about me being a non-traditional student, but I am humble. And I welcome the opportunity to be poured into, to be mentored, to learn from you ladies. So I'd love to make those connections. To everyone that is a student that's listening, what I would like for you to know is that your voice is valuable, and people want to hear you speak, and they want to hear what you have to say. And you are not in competition with anyone but yourself. And I would charge you to value your voice. And I would charge you to remind yourself that you are enough. And I would charge you to value these hands, these healing hands, because these hands right here can shoot a gun. These hands right here can do sign language, and they can give hugs, and they can braid hair and birth babies and all these amazing things. But these hands heal. And I will charge you to welcome your ancestors to guide you, because this is ancient medicine. This isn't new. This isn't new at all. Go back to the history books. In Africa, spinal manipulation was a thing. In ancient Chinese medicine, spinal manipulation was a thing. So I would charge you to do acts of faith, because faith without work is dead. So welcome your ancestors to guide you. Remind yourself that you are enough. Continue to do the work. Stay humble and pour into others, and allow yourself to be poured into.
Oh my gosh. I'm telling, I know I said it already. You be preaching. Like, you be preaching. Like, for real, for real. Look, someone even wrote amen. Look, listen. I'm not the only one that felt that right here.
Well, I mean, and I know you got to go, but listen, we are so many times the only, even at Life University, so many times we're the only Black person in the room, the only.
Yes.
Do you know how many times I've been insecure laying on somebody's table, knowing I'm going to leave a whole bunch of coconut oil and shea butter on the table and wondering if I'm going to be judged? Like, we have those worries that nobody else has.
Right.
I need y'all to know we in this together. So let's support each other. Like, we're in this. I got you. If y'all need me, hit me up. If you need somebody to pour some words of encouragement in you, you want to get together and train, you want to come to Georgia and visit because you don't live here, let's do it.
Listen, this right here is what the Chiropractic Women of Color group is all about. Like, for real, supporting one another, because just like you said, we have so many different things that we think about, so many different struggles that we think about that our counterparts have no clue about.
You know,
don't.
Secure it makes me feel when they stick their hands in my head. Oh my gosh. And this is my real hair. But I know you're going to come out greasy. I'm just saying, it's little things. Like, and I just want everybody I want y'all to know that we are one body. We are all a part of one body. And we are together. So let's talk about it. I'm thankful to you for having me here today. I am so blessed and so humbled. Like, thank you so much.
No, thank you for being here and sitting with me. Like, I feel like I'm a student right now. I'm all excited.
And I've learned from you. I'm going to check out SLT. I'm going to check out ICPA. Like, this is what it's about.
Yes. Just feeding off of each other. We got to feed off each other. We learn. Others, they do this. This is what they do. They teach each other. They show each other the way. And unfortunately, like you said, we're like the only people in the room. And you do feel insecure. I'm a introvert / not extrovert, but if I'm in a room and I don't know anybody, I'm gonna fold into myself. If I'm in a room and I'm the only one that looks like me, I'm gonna fold into myself. Like, it's so easy to get lost in the shuffle of everything. And just to have this outlet, just to have other people who have been where you've been, they've been where you're going. Like, it's just so awesome, so nice to have. We learned so much. Like, Dr. Lindsay was just talking last week, and I was writing down some of the stuff she was saying, because, like, oh my God, I need to do this in my practice. Like, it's just so many things that we don't know, and that's why we want to have these interviews. And someone asked earlier, when are we going to do another interview? It should be next Friday, the same exact time. We're going to try to do every Friday at the same time. Sometimes the docs don't have Fridays available, but we're always posted. We're going to try to do 2 days leading up to each interview. Sometimes I forget and I do 2 days or 1 day before, but we're always going to be leading up to it, so you can get this insight from other people. And we're going to do more students, because The insight she just gave us, some of the stuff she just talked about, I had no clue. It's been a while since I've been a student. And I know you docs out there, it's probably been a while since you've been a student. Like, she gave us some stuff to think about so we can go look at. So we can take some more seminars that we haven't thought about taking. Like, this is just awesome. Thank you so much. You said you're humble, Leon. I'm humble that you came to talk to me. Like, I'm nobody. And I just started this because I was like, you know what? I really wish I knew a lot more doctors that look like me.
Wow.
And you guys all showed up. Like, literally, you guys are all showing up, and I cannot believe it.
You ladies, I want y'all to know that as it relates to a scale of vibrational energy, with gratitude and love being the highest and anger, jealousy, and envy being the lowest, when you're sitting in that neutral spot of either being low or high, the one thing that stands between you and vibrating high and vibrating low is courage. So take the step, take the leap. When you're the only one, volunteer. Take the step, take the leap, because courage is the one thing that stands between vibrating high and vibrating low. And when you have a high vibrational energy, you have the power to manifest whatever it is that you want to manifest in your life, because you are your ancestors' wildest dreams. And there are things waiting for you that you can't even dream up for yourself.
Oh my goodness. You guys, listen. I'm so encouraged. I'm so like, I'm ready to do even more wild things than what I'm doing. Someone said that she wants to plug Evoke conference. They're having a conference coming up in October. She said it blessed her life, and a room full of chiropractors that look like us. Hope to see you guys there. So I just want to say before I know I keep saying it, I'm gonna probably be a little bit late. I like talking. This is great conversation. But about the Evoke, I learned how to do side posture from Dr. Vaughn. Him and Dr. Everett literally taught me how to do side posture. Dr. Everett, he's a Logan grad, so is Dr. Tippler. I think actually Dr. Vaughn is a Logan grad, if I'm not mistaken. I think all three of them are.
So approachable.
Yes. And Dr. Everett and Dr. Tippler's practice, that's where my mother-in-law goes to practice. Like, I sent her there because I moved from St. Louis. So I sent her there to go to them. She met them. They love her. She loves them. He does things with students all the time. He was our mentor as a student. That's whose office we went to as students to be mentored, because there was nowhere else for us. Well, not just because there was nowhere else for us, but he reached out to all of us to help us become better doctors. So one day they were like, him and Dr. Vaughn were like, you don't know how to decide posture? Like, no, I don't know. I can't figure it out. They were like, come on, let's go. I was like, right here? What? They were like, yes. Dr. Vaughn, if y'all don't know, Dr. Vaughn is like 6'11". I don't know. He's tall. He's a big man.
Dark and handsome.
Yeah, he is a big man, right? We should throw a shout out to Dr. Vaughn, Dr. Undergrad on here. But anyway, he is tall. And he got on the table, and I was like, okay. And my whole philosophy all through chiropractic school, if you can dodge a reach, you can dodge a ball. So if you can adjust the biggest person, you can adjust the smallest person. This man got on the table. Dr. Everett was like, okay, do this, do this, do that. I was like, all right. Everybody's been trying to teach me this. It didn't work, but I'm listening to them, right? So I did it, and I was like, and it went. I was like, I was so excited. They are just the sweetest men ever. They're great doctors, great mentors. And I'm glad you said something about them. They're awesome.
Yes, agreed.
But anyways, let's just take 2 seconds to smile for the camera so that we have a good image, because that's a struggle. So, all right, and thank you for whoever said you are somebody. I really appreciate that. That warms my heart, because literally this was just a thought in my mind, and actually Dr. Ira Tahir was the one who helped me decide that this is what I wanted to do and start doing the chiropractic women of color. But I hope you guys are able to check out our next interview. Thank you so much for being on with us today. And I really appreciate your insight. I hope you guys learned even a fraction of what I learned. I hope you guys got even a fraction of the encouragement that I just got today, because I feel like I'm taking my energy to the next level. Like you said all you need is courage, right?
Courage.
All we need is courage, guys, and we can go to that next level. That is so awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. No problem, Ray. And we will see you guys next time.
Thank
Talk
you.
to you. Bye.
Happy February.
You as well. And happy early birthday.
Thank you.